Gentlemen, week 16. And Rossi, sorry about that, man, but I'm going to have to start off with the game that probably has the least significance. However, I think it would be interesting to see if you guys could pull off the upset, because the Tennessee Titans, one of their bright spots is that they're a relatively good team at home. Like, the marks between home and away are so vastly different. And now you're going up against a Drew Lock-led Seattle Seahawks. What are your thoughts on this game?
The win that they had this past weekend was pretty crazy, and they're coming in on a high. And I just think the Titans at this point are just not very motivated. I just don't see it. Now, they go down to the crazy thing about it, they go down to Miami and they play them like that. It's insane. But I just don't think at this point they're very motivated. And I think Seattle is going to come in and win the game. I think it's going to be a close game like the Houston game, but I think Seattle is going to come in and win the game. I don't think we're going to have an answer for Metcalf or Lockett. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think the Titans are going to pull it off. I think the Seattle is going to pull it off. I would say by a touchdown.
I think it was like plus 3.5 last time I checked. And just seeing now that although that Smith was a healthy scratch last week, it does look like that he will be playing the Titans. He will be coming back. So, very interesting. What is a final score prediction for you?
I would say I'm going to say Seattle 24, Titans 17.
24-17. Have Will Levis go on ahead and march down the field for a couple, at least for some dignity points. I absolutely love it. Ruben, short take on this game, final score prediction.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and give it to the Titans. I think they're going to come into this game pissed off, and I think we are going to see Will Levis do something crazy. Despite the fact that we just sacked his ass 7 times, I like Will Levis. I think the Tennessee Titans will pull this off. Close game, though, 17-14.
I don't see any way that the Titans win this game. I have a thing, yes, with the teams that, win these huge games against teams that they shouldn't have, and how they play the next week typically is not as good as the product that you saw the first time around. But I think the Seahawks are just too talented for the Titans to hang with them, especially with that wide receiver core. And Kenneth Walker's running the football really well right now. So I'll give the Seahawks the win 27-13.
What about you, Dalton?
Yeah, it's definitely trap game territory. The Seahawks gave all they could to the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football, and they came out victorious. So, this is a game where I don't know if they're deflated right now. The Tennessee Titans, after kind of putting up a fight against the Colts, and then beating the Dolphins and going into overtime with the Houston Texans. But I'll go safe with this one and just pick the Seahawks to win this one. I'll say maybe 28-14.
I'm making the transition. We have the Houston Texans. Will C.J. Stroud start? We certainly don't know. Last time I checked, it appears that he is still experiencing some symptoms from the concussion. He's still currently in the protocol, and they are welcoming the Joe Flacco-led Cleveland Browns, who in my opinion had zero impact on their win last week in Cleveland. What are your thoughts on this, Ruben? Do you trust Case Keenum to pull off 2 miracles in a row?
To be honest with you, no. However, I do have faith in this coaching staff based off what they did against the Tennessee Titans. Now, it's going to be a tougher task against the Cleveland Browns. We might have Nico Collins back. We might have right tackle George Fant back. However, still no C.J. Stroud potentially, no Will Anderson Jr. Our linebacker Blake Cashman most likely won't play. It is going to be a real tough game for this Houston Texans team. It's going to be at Houston, and they own your first-round pick this year, so you want to, give them the L to help you out in terms of that. But if C.J. Stroud can't go, man, it is going to be a tough game. However, based off what I saw last week, I have 100% trust in my coaching staff. I'm going to say it's another close one, man. I'm going to go 20-17 Houston Texans.
All right, Rossi, short take, final score prediction for the Texans and the Browns.
Man, I'm gonna have to go with the Browns here. I'm gonna say the Browns, 20. Let's say the Browns 23, the Texans 20.
Derek.
Talk about a game of the two luckiest teams in the entire NFL this year playing each other. I'm gonna go with the Browns. I think their luck is gonna continue. I'll go with a score of 20-14.
Dalton.
I think the theme of the Texans is that, they win games they're supposed to lose. They lose games they're supposed to win. So I'll say if CJ Stroud plays, I'll give it to the Texans. I'd say the Texans maybe win 20-17. But if it's another Case Keenum game, look, the Browns win games. It doesn't even matter who their quarterback is. They just have such a good roster. All they need is a real game manager just to not make too many mistakes. So, mine's completely dependent on the status of CJ Stroud. But, I guess if CJ Stroud doesn't play, then give me the Browns this one, 24-14.
Yeah,
it's certainly going to be a game, especially since both of these teams where it stands are currently either in the playoffs or currently in the hunt. So a lot of playoff implications between this matchup. And Week 16 and this preview segment is brought to you by a proud sponsor of Roundtable Sports, and that just so happens to be BetUS. Ladies and gentlemen, BetUS is hands down the #1 sports book on the market today. When it's point spreads, when it's over-unders, when it's just standard money lines, or even an absolutely beautiful prop builder, BetUS is who everybody at Roundtable Sports use. Best part about it is that they are matching 125% of your initial deposit the second that you do sign up. So say, for example, you were to deposit $100, then boom, you have $225. There's a lot of confidence in this live chat of saying who is going to win the division. So worst case scenario, put your money where your mouth is. The payouts are super easy and some of the absolute best customer service in the game. And look at this. Let's go on ahead and pull this AFC South odds of winning. And wow. Right now we have the Jags as -135. Favorites have the Colts at +275. The Houston Texans at +285.
Damn, the Colts jumped the Texans.
Interesting.
Very close money line, baby. Take them Colts, bro.
That's
what I'm saying.
That's close, bro.
Take the money. And pick the Colts, man. Pick the Colts.
Now let's hear a message from BetUS themselves.
BetUS, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything, anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right, get a 125% sign-up bonus. And to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we are giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
Now we got the Indianapolis Colts and the Atlanta Falcons. All right? We're talking about a Falcons team that uses their star players as decoys, as distractions. They just don't use these guys for some reason. I have no idea. But you are going into Atlanta facing off against this Falcons-led team. Thoughts, Derek, and final score prediction.
You're going to be facing Taylor Heineke this week. He is not the same player that he was with the Commanders in 2022, and he's certainly not with a good enough team that you saw from 2022. I am not worried. I still do not know how the Falcons are actually favored in the point spread right now. Absolutely ridiculous. But nevertheless, going to Atlanta, I definitely see Indianapolis pulling off another win. I'm going to go 27-17 Indy.
It's going to be a game. Dalton, what do you think on that one?
Hey, man, I have a lot of respect for the Washington Commanders. They are one of two other teams in the NFL that are on 3-game losing streaks. So kind of Eskimo bros in that fact. But I don't know. With this one, bro, I'm telling you, man, Gardner Minshew, once you get hope in Gardner Minshew, he completely shits the bed. And I have a feeling that this could be a game that Gardner Minshew comes out here and just doesn't play well. And I'm actually going to pick the Washington Commanders to win this one. I'm gonna say 17-13.
It's the Falcons, but still the same thing though. 17-13 Falcons.
Oh yes, Falcons. They're playing the Falcons. Shit, I heard Heineke inside.
No, I was
Right.
reminding him of the 2022 version of Taylor Heineke.
Hey,
Didn't
listen,
you say
Dalton,
Commanders?
same thing happened to me last
I'm
night.
sorry.
Yeah, I said Commanders because he was with the Commanders in 2022.
Okay,
Hey.
okay, sorry. I'm suffering from the flu right now, guys. Okay, but they're playing the Falcons. The Falcons are The Falcons are awful. I'm gonna say the Colts win that one 24-10.
Hey!
All right, Ruben. What
You know,
got,
I hate
man?
to pick the Indianapolis Colts, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You know, just like last week, man, they continue to grind out football games. The Atlanta Falcons are not a good football team. I definitely think they get the running game going because they showed without Zach Moss, they can still tote the pill. I think both your backup running backs average about 5 yards or more a carry last week. I'm gonna go ahead and go 24-10 Indianapolis Colts.
Rossi, what you got?
Yeah, our old offensive coordinator is getting hammered down there by Falcons fans and in the media and everything, and he should be. It's crazy he's not using the players he's got because Bijan Robinson has been really good. But I'm gonna say the Colts win this one. The Colts been scoring almost 25 points a game. I'm gonna give them 28 points. I'm gonna say the Colts 28, Atlanta 17.
And last but not least, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Dalton did mention this previously about what he thinks about this Buccaneers team. But I kind of want to shift it, and I kind of want to see in your eyes, what do the Jags need to do to make sure that they can get past this sneaky good team in the NFC?
Well, I mean, with respect to the Buccaneers, I mean, they're 7-7, but they're on a 3-game winning streak. I mean, they're actually playing good football. I think the Jaguars they have to stop shooting themselves in the foot, man. I mean, this last game, there were, 2 missed field goals in the first half. And then Trevor Lawrence fumbles in the red zone. And then, that play at the very end where, they decide, okay, do they spike it or whatever? It's like, okay, it's the coaches. Look, you got to spike. But at the same time, Trevor, if it's not there, you got to throw it out of the back of the end zone. Just lack of situational awareness by the whole entire team was awful. So it's just all about, dude, you can't shoot yourselves in the foot. You can't miss scoring opportunities. The Jaguars should have had at least 16 points that first half, and they came away with 0. So you can't leave points on the board. Right now, we're just not a good enough roster when it comes to all the injuries that we have. And, now Zay Jones is hurt. It's just they had to stop shooting themselves in the foot, and they have to play sound. I thought the defense actually played decent against the Ravens. It's just, Buccaneers is probably a pretty even matchup right now with how, well the Buccaneers are playing. But, they got to kind of hope to get in Minshew's head, or not Minshew, but in Baker Mayfield's head. But yeah, you got to find a way to, edge them out and just not beat yourselves in this one.
Derek, what you got on this, man?
Oh man, I hate to pick against the Jags right now, because you lose 3 in a row, but you know what? I don't feel sorry. Well, they're about to make it 4 in a row. Jags, I said, was about to lose. The Indianapolis Colts taking this division this weekend. They gonna be on upset alert. That CJ Beathard-led Jaguars team most likely, they gonna end up losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm gonna say 24-21 Tampa Bay.
Oh my God, Ruben, what about you, man? What you got?
I'm going to go ahead and go Jacksonville Jaguars 24-21. I think Trevor Lawrence is not going to allow Jacksonville to lose 4 in a row. Hopefully, I get to see this generational talent finally. However, I am going to go Jacksonville 24-21 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just leaving the door open for my Houston Texans to sneak in and take it week 18.
Last but certainly not least, Rossi.
Yeah, I mean, Baker Mayfield, the resurgence, right? I mean, he's been playing pretty good this year, especially the last few games. I was in Tampa when they beat us. Unfortunately, it was terrible. But I think, I don't know. I think Jacksonville's going to redeem themselves. I think it could be a get-right game for them. And Trevor, maybe he's healthier this week. So I'm going to say Jacksonville 24, Tampa Bay, we'll say 20.
Well, certainly a lot on the line for week 16, guys. Like I've said several times, this is hands down one of the most surprisingly competitive divisions all year. No one saw this coming.